Right, guys, we have the co-founder of the Gohighlevel company, which is basically like one of the biggest name on the internet right now, rolling around with some of the big names that we know of, Frank Kern, Billie Jean, all these big people who has been like on the internet world from like past decades, making 8 figure, 9 figure. They are all jumping onto this Gohighlevel train because of this disruptive technology that they have built specifically for marketing agencies. And right now they have 60,000 plus agencies already signed up onto this platform. And like they already had like $60 million funding few years back, and that was just to test because already they are generating the amazing SaaS revenue. All said and done, what this software can do for marketing agencies, we are going to discover. So the topic for this would be all marketing agencies are losing money without even realizing it. Varun, I wanted to start with you. Like amazing to have you here. So number one, like first question we should be addressing is the why should any marketing agency listening to this wake up to understand that SaaS model is the thing that they need to hop on as soon as possible. Like any marketing agency already doing those high ticket sale and serving people. Why should they even consider like, okay, this should also be the model, the SaaS model? Yeah.
That makes sense. So if you look at it globally, I mean, one way to look at this is most people who are building a business today are building a business not to run it forever. They're building it to generate some income and exit at some point. And that's true for most digital marketing agency owners as well. They want to build a good book of business and 10 years from now, 15 years from now, be able to sell that business and then retire. And one of the big challenges you have is if your marketing agency is built on a service business or high ticket sales, the amount of churn that you have in that business is so high that by the time you're ready to sell, you have two problems. One, you keep filling up the bucket every year, but almost as much as you put into the bucket goes out. So you're starting from scratch every year. And the multiple that you get on that revenue is really, really low because you're going to lose almost all of them by the end of the year. But if you instead switch to something that was low churn, where you're not leaking revenue all the time and you kept 80 to 90% of the customers that you brought in a particular year, then your business truly starts to compound because every year you're not starting from scratch. You at least have 90% of the people that came the first year and then 80% of those the second year. So by the time you get to year 10 or year 15, you're a much larger business in terms of revenue. And because of how stable that revenue is, you also get a much bigger multiple when you exit. So those really are the two reasons to shift to something more recurring. And with most of the marketing agencies that we've seen, the way they've done that is by shifting to selling high level as the recurring product. They still do all of their high ticket sales and services, but they do that after first selling their customer on the software. So the software is just a line item on the invoice. It's a low ticket sale, and as long as you set it up right for them, it will do the job automatically. Like you put a chat widget on the customer's website. Anytime someone comes to the website, they put a message in, it shows up on their mobile phone and they respond. So there's no disputing that, right? If you run an ad for them, they can have a conversation with you about how the leads were good, not good, the quality of the ad, the quality of the customer that came. All of those are things that they can talk about. But if you put a chat widget on the website and there are conversations coming into their mobile app, there's no disputing that. Did you fulfill the requirement? You did. If someone calls the business and they don't pick up the phone and you send them a missed call text back, you fulfilled the service. So these are really easy services that work on autopilot, and you put those as line items on an invoice and they will pay for those forever.
That's amazing. And even for that matter, like I was discussing with Sean as well, like a few months back, it is not that agencies are generating this new revenue from the local. These local businesses are already paying for these services. Like for example, the CRM, maybe they are referring to the third party software, the email management, the SMS marketing. So all these money the respective client is already paying. It's just that you are not collecting. Gohighlevel enables you to collect all those revenue scattered around back to you, and this could be the base model of the revenue that you are generating month after month, which is a safe model. The client is not considering that to cancel, and then you can scale up to, let's say you're offering that social media campaign running service, you're charging $1,500 per month, $2,000 per month, which customer would any local business would want to switch it off as soon as possible, right? That should be the goal. At the moment, who wants to pay
And
2,000?
over there, I
The
think we offer a
baseline.
couple of different approaches, right? So this is where having a really broad feature set is useful. So we have, 30, 40 features. We don't count. But there are, at least 50% of those features that every business is using today that you can go in and replace. There are 50% of the features that they're not using that you can get them on first. So it all comes down to what the angle is when you go into that business. We have a prospecting report that you can generate inside the app. And that will tell you which features is that business using and not using. And of the features they're using elsewhere, Is their website page speed score really good? Is their WordPress hosting good? Is their SEO good? Do they have enough reviews on GBP? So it gives you all of the tools you need to go in and start having a conversation with that business. And based off how that conversation goes, you can figure out what's an easier sale to make to that particular person. Do you think you can get them to replace one of their existing tools because they have complaints about the price they're paying elsewhere? Or is there a challenge that they actively face in the business today? And there's a new feature that you can push into that business, get them onto the platform, and then replace all of the other tools that they're paying for today. So it gives you the optionality with every sale.
Definitely. And one more thing, like there is one thing that we are offering certain feature. The businesses want the benefit. So basically, what High Level is actually offering is actual benefit, which can actually improve the revenues of the local business. As a marketing agency, what you're offering, for example, who doesn't want an improved Google review? Like if you go out to any local business who doesn't know any technical knowledge, and then you are saying, okay, we have done it in the past. This is practical, and we can improve your Google reviews. You can be ranking at the top. Who would want to turn that off service? Like if you are able to connect with the client, tell them this message, like this message itself, like selling it on itself. And at the same time, like a lot of businesses understand this AI thing, that artificial intelligence is coming up, right? What should we do with this? Like people are hearing you, if you don't get into artificial intelligence, you're missing on the boat. Here is a solution, done for you solution. You're offering AI chatbot that, hey, this AI chatbot, instead of your 100 people talking to 1,000 customers as a customer support, this AI chatbot, which is trainable as per your business, is going to 24/7 run for you. Like, of course, businesses, like, this is a need. This is something which is actually the need. And Gohighlevel, I mean, if anybody listening to it like doesn't understand the Gohighlevel model, basically you have a master account as an agency, and then you can offer individual sub accounts to local businesses. You want to onboard 100 local business, you have 100 sub accounts you can create, and each sub account runs the entire marketing thing with the business. Like you can offer the CRM, AI chatbot, Google reviews, missed call text back. All these individual features are business driven. So definitely, like, that was a great point that you brought, that
And with the AI employee, I mean, the AI feature set, we're actually starting to bundle it. Because when you go into a business and try to sell, like you mentioned, the AI chatbot, it feels like a feature that you're selling. And we want that mindset to shift to, hey, I want to have AI in my workforce. So if you go into a business, you can pitch them on, hey, guess what? I mean, if we can add an AI employee to your workforce, does that help you get the job done faster and better? And what will that AI employee do? Well, they'll automatically respond to your reviews. They will respond to website chat visitors. They will pick up inbound calls. If you don't pick up the call after 2 or 3 rings, they'll help you write social media posts. And when you position it that way, they start thinking different. They're like, well, if an AI employee costs me $200, $300 a month, that's about 10 to 15 hours of a person's time. If I hired someone for 10 or 15 hours, will they be able to get all of that job done? No. So I guess that is a good deal. And that's really the packaging that we're coming out with, which will help all of these agencies go in and sell it more effectively. So instead of piecemeal selling these AI features, you can sell them on that full vision of, hey, add an AI person to your workforce.
That's amazing. So overall, the message that we are getting here is that, see, marketing agencies, if let's say they have an existing business model, they are doing this high ticket sale, which has a great amount of churn rate, you can continue with that. You can add this particular SaaS model where you're securing this monthly recurring income, because the software, the businesses are not going to turn it off. They assume by default, okay, the CRM is held with this, the, let's say, AI chatbot, missed call text back, Google reviews, all these things are done with this software. I don't have to turn this off. Like, for example, the autoresponder software that I got in, everything else I canceled, but this software I never canceled, because by default, I assume this is running my business. And let's say the funnels and website is also available. If you build a website for a local business like out there, they don't even think of canceling it, right? The business is running with that. They might cancel the higher ticket. So from there, this baseline revenue, let's say, I mean, on minimum basis, I'm telling like $300 you're getting from one client for just one baseline service, just one service, let's say AI chatbot you're selling. You get in 100 customers, you have secured $30,000 every single month. And on top of that, you can experiment all the other features that you're offering. So that is the model that we are saying, that why should marketing agencies wake up if with this SaaS model, with this Gohighlevel model that we are talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll move on to next question with this that may come up to mind to the people. And then after that, just one last question. The next question would be like, how many success stories are there where marketing agencies added this SaaS model? Like they flipped from the original, not flip, like they added, because the original model is already there present with them, and have a great success. And it's not just numbers, because we already know 60,000 agencies working. We already have the numbers. Like, because you deal with the insider thing, you must be knowing with the actual stories of the businesses. Like if you have examples of any of the stories, a marketing agency were doing the normal thing, now they implemented with this and have a great result.
Yeah, we have lots of stories. And interestingly, the way this whole thing got started, the idea of SaaS did not come from us. That came from the agencies themselves. So what we had on day one was the ability to white label high level. And over time, what we noticed is as we talked to more customers, a lot of these customers were white labeling high level, but were selling it as their own software. And we saw the first 10 people do it, 50 people do it, 100 people do it. And when we saw over 100 people do it, that's when we're like, well, there's something here because it makes sense. They want to move from a high churn service model to a low churn SaaS model. So they're going in and selling the software as the leading item. And we really learned that from our customer base and then added it into the app. So things like the SaaS configurator to build your plans, the rebilling, all of that came after. All of that came after we saw these agencies be successful. And today, of the entire 60,000, so 60,000 agencies in total, but of those 60,000 agencies, about 50% of them, so close to 30,000, do SaaS today. So they have switched to the SaaS model. And within the SaaS model, I think we put out a number during Summit last year and at Mastermind this year. And off the top of my head, they're generating about 200 or $300 million in revenue. This is with rebilling and SaaS plans and everything put together. So it's a significant amount of money that all of these SaaS vendors are generating. And we've seen some really big examples. We've seen a couple of exits where people have built agencies that have converted to SaaS and exited those agencies. We have seen PE investment in a few of these agencies. We've seen a couple of them get nominated for awards in their categories. So the niche that they white labeled and built their CRM for, we've seen them get nominated for CRM of the year in their niche. And we have a lot of them that have thousands, sometimes even 10,000 accounts. So multi-million-dollar recurring revenue businesses that have been built on top of high level. So we've seen the full spectrum. So there are a lot of people that are seeing success with the SaaS model.
That's amazing to hear. Like, in fact, we have the numbers here. The numbers can be looked upon officially onto the website itself. And this software itself is officially designed for the marketing agencies itself. We have already seen what is the reason that they should do it. We have already seen right now that it is actually working. Like this is like I mean, I would say, let's say somebody who were initially reluctant in early 2000, year 2000, that okay, internet is also a thing, website is also, should we start with the website? Later on, like 5 years, 10 years down the line, everybody had a website. Everybody need, and the marketing agency thing, of course, social media marketing agency, everybody used to be offering services. And now this decade onwards, it seems as if we are pivoting to this model. Like the coming time, it will be software as a service. Like you need to provide SaaS model. So as soon as possible, like if you're not switching it right now, probably 5 years down the line, this is going to be the trend. Like everybody will be. So this is the time, if anybody is hearing, like, of course, you can try it out, whether it is for you or not. And
I think
definitely.
another thing to talk about that's useful is a lot of times people feel like the bigger players in the space will beat them out. Like, if I'm selling SaaS and HubSpot or Zoho or Active Campaign, or someone cold calls my customer, they're much bigger company. They will probably be able to convince my customer and move them off my platform. But the number of times we've seen that happen is almost never. It's almost zero. And the reason we found is most small businesses, they want the software, but they also want an outcome. And the number of times a HubSpot or Active Campaign or Zoho can help you get to an outcome is very little. So all of them have website builder tools, but none of them will build a website for you. They expect the small business owner to learn and build the website with themselves. They all have email marketing, but none of them will do it for you. And that's the key. I think once everything is set up, the core CRM aspects, the conversations, those are things that the business, ongoingly uses. But those initial pieces that they require to get started, none of these other people help you with. And that's really where the agency always wins, because you don't just go sell them the software, you sell them the outcome. And the software comes with the outcome. And once it's all set up, they keep paying for the software and you've set them up for success.
Definitely. Like if I keep to myself, I'm a local business. If I can talk to an agency, like a local agency which is specializing into the things and considering my outcome, rather I would go with them rather than a big company who's just automated everything, right? I have to do everything myself. Without my result, it doesn't matter to them. Even if I cancel, it doesn't matter to them. So of course, like this way, this objection this makes very much sense as you gave the example for this. So I think I'll just move on to the last question. Would be how tough or easy it is. Like an existing marketing agency, they might have this objection resistance. I mean, how would it look like to implement the entire Go High Level thing into our model? How will it affect our system, and how easy and tough it is? Like before starting, I would like to mention that okay, I am a uh, independent affiliate partner of Go High Level, and basically we also offer like normally if you go to the Go High Level website, you'll be getting 14-day free trial with our link gohighlevel.com/Abdullah Zahid. I'll pop up on the screen. You'll be getting 30 days free trial. And with that, like we will want to offer you additional bonus to clear this particular thing. Like you have a query, how will we onboard and stuff. So this is on us. We are going to assign one-to-one personal assistant who's going to onboard, like make this process smooth for you, and even teach anyone who would want like on the way, so that you become independent with this. And along with that, special offer is going that AI chatbot implementation will also be done by our executive. And apart from that, the existing snapshots and all these things will also be given. Snapshot is basically the template, which one template, one click of a button, all the email sequences, workflow, website related with any particular niche is already populated, so that you just tweak it based on the existing client that you want. So it's an amazing thing. So anyways, like it is going to be helpful for you. The link would be gohighlevel.com/Abdullah. Now I would want Varun to let know like how easy, like he has seen the transition of the companies. He might have seen like a lot of marketing agencies transition to this. Like how is the process? How does the process look like?
And I think most times people are surprised by how easy it is once they get started. But to get started, they always feel like it's too hard. It means that everything about their business changes, so they never get started. One of the best examples that we've had, we have Chase, who's on our product marketing team. He was an agency owner, co-founder of an agency with another guy called Matt. I think their agency was called Customer Bloom, and they worked on it together. At some point, Chase was the person that was working with High Level day in and out. So he saw the promise in the software early. So he actually left Customer Bloom and he moved to High Level. But him and his co-founder were still in touch. They're still on good terms. So he kept telling him day after day, hey, you need to get started on SaaS. You need to get started on SaaS. And his co-founder never did it. And they were in high ticket sales. So he kept doing what he knew to do. And eventually, I think last year, around March or April, he said, fine, I'm finally going to do it. You pestered me enough. Let me get started. And I think the month he started, he landed 10 or 15 customers, and it kept rolling, it kept snowballing. And he just started with one off. And the big change is just leading with the software as the first item on the invoice. That's it. It's as simple as saying, hey, we're going to implement the software for your business, and this is how much the software costs. And then you go in and sell all of the other stuff. So it's just switching the order of the sale. And at last count, I think he had about 400 or 450. So at the last mastermind that we're at, and Chase keeps giving an update every mastermind. So right from that first time that he started doing it, with every mastermind, he keeps checking in with him again and keeps updating the count, so we can tell the new people, the new SaaSpreneurs showing up, what that count is. And at last count, I remember he had 400 customers or so. And that's how easy it is. And this is in about a year, he's added 400 customers. And if you do 400 customers at like a 297 price point, that's $100,000 recurring per month that you've added to your agency. And he was able to do it in a year. So it's incredibly simple. I think the tough challenge is overcoming your own objections and just starting to lead with the software as the first item. You can still do all of the other stuff that you're doing, just lead with the software.
Amazing to hear, Varun. And I think it really makes sense. Like, what are the things on the line? Like, how much risk is it to figure this out? Maybe you're leaving, like the marketing agency listening to this, maybe they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Like, a software especially designed for the marketing agencies, bringing results as we just discussed, already used by 60,000 agencies, already supported by big names like Frank Kern and Billie Jean. They transition from the other software, now promoting this, seeing the potential in this. And we are seeing the result. We are starting with 30-day free trial. Like it's not that upfront commitment of paying anything or stuff. Like 30-day free trial. Of course, I believe that they should try. Maybe they are missing a lot on the table. Maybe 5 years down the line they will be implementing this. So why not just give it a try? And one of the advantage with marketing agencies, I believe, with this SaaS model, because apart from marketing agencies, also people are starting the new agency thing, trying to learn this model. Existing marketing agencies, they have already this skill of connecting with the clients. That is also a concern, like major thing with the people, that how do we, I mean, we understand this amazing thing that we are offering. How do we find the client? How do we connect the clients? So the marketing agencies have this edge over others, like they know how to connect with the client. So now when they have this amazing solution, they connect with the client, and landing customer becomes much easier with this. So I think, thanks a lot, Varun, for your time. Thanks for your explanation and all the insider examples that you give, which we did not have insight on. Yeah, I'll leave it to that. Again, I'll leave the link like gohighlevel.com/Abdullah Zahid, 30-day free trial, and onboarding and everything will be taken care by us. And definitely it will be something like you wouldn't regret. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Varun, for the
Thank
call.
you.
Bye bye.